Meet sailing yacht Avanti and her crew, Gerard and Jacqueline. We left Cape Town in December 2021 on our floating home, heading west on an adventure of a lifetime around the world. We have finally received our Indonesian visas and it's time to leave Australia and continue our journey west.
This is our last night in Australia before we clear out tomorrow. So we've decided we have to spend our remaining Australian cash, and we're having chicken palmies. It's basically a chicken stencil with some Napolitana, tomato and cheese on top. So yeah, they're very good actually, but quite expensive to eat in a restaurant here. But last meal before we leave.
The Australian Border Force was just here and we're all cleared out. And now it's just time to throw off the lines and head to Indonesia. Let's go. Oh, my glasses are wet.
I'm just gonna take off the bow line. I'll push the bow out and then just pull in the stern line so that the stern goes towards the dock. I'm gonna jump on and then we go.
Cool.
We left Darwin at around 10 o'clock this morning. The officials was a little bit late, so I had to phone them, but they just arrived as I phoned the office. The clearance was quite simple. They had two officials looking for stowaways on the boat, unpacking almost everything and moving stuff around below deck for about half an hour. But other than that, it was quite easy. And they were very friendly and helpful. It didn't cost anything. We also filled up diesel at Cullen Bay Marina. There's a pontoon with a fuel dock, so that's the same place where you clear out. But yeah, the prediction for the next few days is very fickle, so the wind is light.
There's nothing.
And we knew we wanted to leave this afternoon or this evening, but they couldn't clear us out at another time slot, and you have to leave immediately, so we couldn't go and anchor and wait, so we had to leave. Today the prediction for wind is almost nothing, so we knew we would motor a lot, and there's absolutely no wind. The sea is flat, calm, but the prediction shows that there is wind tomorrow on Jackie's birthday. So hopefully the gods are favorable and
send me some wind, please.
Hopefully the prediction is correct that we can sail most of tomorrow, but then again Saturday and Sunday is very light. So this is typical for this part of the world, and specifically this part of the season. We are a little bit late. Coming through here a month ago would have been better, but the locals say even then it's pretty light. So yeah, let's hope there's wind. We can't really afford to motor all the way because we might still have to motor after Kupang. So Kupang is about 500 nautical miles or just less.
Kupang. For the Aussies. Kupang.
And we hope to be there in about 3.5 days.
Snake! Another sea snake!
We have silence at last. We've basically been motoring through the whole of the first day and the first night. We switched off the engine for about 2 hours last night, where we could actually sail on a close reach. It was actually quite nice, but unfortunately the wind didn't hold, so we had to start the motor again. We could motor sail, so the motor wasn't running at full revs, or well, it was running at low revs, but we're trying to conserve diesel. And this morning, just before sunrise, I put out the pole, the wind shifted a little bit, and We're sailing wing on wing at the moment, doing an average of 4 knots speed over ground, which is great without the engine. So let's hope this works, this keeps going like this. The prediction is completely different to this. The wind should be on the beam and it should be about 10 knots, but we have about 8 knots from behind now, and there's almost no swell, so the sails are quite stable. So yeah, we have about 350 miles to go. I'm afraid to say that we've lost wind. We've had a good day since sunrise. We've been sailing, but now the swell has picked up a little bit and the wind is down to 5 knots. So let's hold thumbs it comes back, otherwise it's motoring time. Not even the spinnaker will fly. Today I'm tasting a 4X lager.
Your last Australian beer.
Yes. This is kind of more run-of-the-mill, not a craft beer, and you see a lot of advertisement and a lot of people drinking these. It's supposed to be a full flavored lager. It's a 375ml bottle, and it's quite light in alcohol, 3.5%. And this one in the shop is also quite expensive in the Northern Territory. I think it's cheaper in Queensland and South Australia for that matter, but in the Northern Territory this was, just buying it loose in the shop, was $5 Australian, so very expensive. I've had a few of these with my brother-in-law and I really like the 4X. So really crisp and refreshing lager, and yeah, just the price that's the bummer. So again, it would score a good rating, but because of the price I'm gonna have to rate this one a 7 out of 10. Cheers.
What are you cooking me for dinner tonight?
I'm making pesto pasta for the birthday girl with broccoli before it goes all rotten, because it's extremely hot here.
What are you doing with the fan?
I'm cooling down. Today is, as you might know, Jacqueline's birthday.
Yay!
So although we didn't want to be on passage, the weather window was just there. So happy birthday, my love. We are not really, at least we sailed for like 10 hours today.
8.
But we are motoring at the moment. There's absolutely no wind. Just enjoying the sunset and the swell.
Right on time, the dolphins came to wish me happy birthday. Hello! Oh, it's just 1 or 2.
It's the start of day 3 of the passage to Kupang, and it's not been great. We started motoring yesterday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we've just had less and less wind. There's absolutely no wind. So we've been motoring throughout the night as well, and we have more than a day left. We've seen some fishing boats on the water, not too close. We're in a kind of an oil platform area now, which we're passing through. We just had some dolphins again on the bow this morning, just after sunrise. So it is beautiful out here, very flat. The swell has calmed down completely. We've tried motor sailing, then taking the sail off when the wind is a little bit from behind, but yeah, it's motoring all the way.
It's a stunning evening, but unfortunately still no wind, so we've been motoring. We did the calculations and we're going to arrive tomorrow night in Kupang. So instead of doing that, we're going to stop the engines and try and bring Avanti to a standstill and sleep for a couple of hours before starting her again and continue on our way, because tomorrow's at some point we'll get some wind and then we want to make use of it fully and not try and sail slowly or anything like that. So we'll give our little Volvo a rest and see if we can get Avanti to stand still in this light wind.
Last night we ended up heaving to from about 8 at night to 1 o'clock. So I kind of woke up and I couldn't sleep anymore. We had a good snooze and we decided to carry on motoring. We are still a little bit early in terms of our planning to arrive there or not to arrive at night. So we motored from 1 o'clock last night to about 10 this morning. And I started seeing that we are getting into the strong current that runs basically down the shore of Timor. So it's pushing, the current will push us in the right direction, or relatively. So we decided to stop again. As you can see, the ocean is flat. There's no wind. I think there's like 3 knots or something on the wind instrument. And we are drifting at an average of 2 knots, speed over ground. Boat speed is 0. So yeah, we'll hang around here for a few hours. The wind is supposed to pick up at 2 or 3 this afternoon, so hopefully it's a little bit earlier and we don't have to motor again. We can just start sailing. This is the morning of day 4, Monday morning. So we are sailing into the Strait of Ruti, which is just the start of the Kupang entrance, very slowly. The wind, we drifted yesterday, I think from 10 AM to like 6 PM, just so that we don't get to this spot at night hours, and because we didn't want to motor anymore, so we used the current to get closer. And we've been sailing from, we started the motor at 6 last night, and 8 o'clock same night we dropped, well, we put up the sails and we started sailing. So we've been sailing through the whole night, making like 3.5, 4 knots average. The current is still with us. And it's just after sunrise now, and we have about 20 miles or so left. So at this pace we'll probably get there just after noon. So yeah, we can see land, and at least we didn't have to motor this last part. We'll probably have to motor around to get into the harbor again. There you can see Indonesia. Our first sighting of the Indonesian islands. Next week we clear into Indonesia, but it's not the arrival we hoped for. If you enjoyed this week's video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, share or subscribe to see when the next video is launched. Thank you to our Patreons for their support monthly. We appreciate it very much. See you next week.